Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today, with the release of LR Janemba, I wanted to have a look back at the good old Corroded Body and Mind mission for the GT Goku event. Because, you know, that's always fun, right? Everyone's favourite. So, I thought it'd be interesting to see, wow, really? How this has changed with some of the buffs. This team hasn't really gotten a huge amount of buffs, but basically compared to the original run, I didn't have LR Rose when the missions were first added, and now I have him with a dupe, so I wanted to check him out in here. He actually links reasonably well with LR Janemba, which is kind of strange. We also have the baby Janemba from Heroes with his EZA. He's now a very strong and viable option for the team, and of course the LR Janemba himself. So I thought it'd be interesting to just go back and do this mission again with this team and see just how difficult it is going to be. Because I talked about the in LR Rose. I did the video talking about like which of the LRs you should get if you buy the green stone pack. And I feel like LR Rose is kind of underrated at this point. Mainly because a lot of the teams that he's on just haven't really had significant buffs. Because when you think of Rose, or any form of Rose, you kind of instantly think of like Future Saga, Time Travelers, which still doesn't have a 170 leader. Obviously Realm of Gods, if you want to go for a more extreme type build, or a more Saiyan-centric build. But the problem with this guy is that he just doesn't have a really good top-tier link partner anymore. Because obviously, realistically, the best link partner to use for him is to have the Int Dokkan Fest Goku Black, and then obviously he transforms to Rose, and then they share pretty much the exact same link set, so obviously they work super well together. But that Int Rose is dropped off pretty hard, and I did consider bringing him like for this run just to be the link partner for the LR Rose, but one of the downsides to that unit, and honestly a lot of the units on Corroded Body and Mind, like on my original run I used the physical Dabura. I've seen quite a few people use him. He's a similar unit to the Int Rose where he infinitely stacks, but he only stacks defense. So by the time you get to the end of the event, he's able to defend reasonably well, but he's doing like no damage. So it makes the whole run take so long. You get to like the final stage and you're still at like you're at like the 20-minute mark or something, and you're only at the last stage. So wow, this is a very bad rotation. Look at this. Oof. And then this is just the issue with Janemba's passive, because I don't think there's any way I could drop the orbs down here to actually pick up. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Whoa! Get those 4 type orbs for Janemba. Can't get a super attack for Super Janemba at the end though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. How much do we take this for? 9,000. Right, let's go. So my LR Janemba, the link leveling is going pretty well. I'm still trying out a couple of different options. I've seen a lot of people suggesting different stages that actually are the best stage now for auto link leveling. Because Truth was always talking about 8-9, and someone posted one as like 15-2. Apparently it has more stop sign fights than 8-9, and it costs slightly more stamina, so technically for both of those reasons it is better for link leveling. So well, they only share fierce battles, and they're not really a rotation that we want to run, although so do they. So alright, so we'll do this, and then yeah, this is not the best linking setup here. I wonder if we should just run Rose with the LR Janemba, and then have like Janemba and baby Janemba as the other rotation. I haven't really been like paying attention to what I want my rotations to be for this team. I had something of an idea in mind when I put the team together, but obviously early on you want Marseillan to get off as many super attacks as possible so he can stack up his defense ready for later on in the event. But I'll probably float him and the LR Rose, I guess. But we'll see how this plays out here, because LR Janemba and baby Janemba can actually work quite well as a rotation together as well. So I think what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and do this. Grab these for you, and then get the buff for you. Although we're not going to get the stack for Janemba in slot 2, because baby Janemba probably going to finish him off here. Yeah, especially when we get a big old crit. So we'll keep these two together for now. And then let's keep Marseille around for a little bit so we can start getting these stacks. Or at least continue to get these stacks. So I'm going to try and do this. Am I going to be able to get? There we go. Yeah, leaving the units short to key so you can then top them up with the JANEMBA buff is sometimes the smart way to go, just so you can make sure you actually are getting the cluster of orbs that you need for Tech JANEMBA. I feel like every time I use Tech JANEMBA, I reiterate why I don't like his design. I feel like 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs is just way too much of an ask for a unit that doesn't like create orbs in any way. Obviously, when he first released, everybody was saying, like, oh, they must have done this because they're going to release an LR Super JANEMBA at some point, and he's going to be an orb changer, and then these two are going to be super awesome to run together. And, like, they do work reasonably well together, but, yeah, LR JANEMBA not being an orb changer is a bit of a miss, I think. That would have been so good for him, but... Anyway, we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll do this. I think Baby JANEMBA might actually finish off Goku here again. Get the dodge in slot 1, nice. No support, so 3 million attack stat. The rotation of Baby JANEMBA and LR JANEMBA together is pretty cool. The only downside, of course, is Baby JANEMBA doesn't have big bad bosses, but at this point, my LR JANEMBA not being fully link leveled, his big bad bosses is not level 10. I think it's actually level 9 though, so... As soon as we've lost even like the smallest amount of health, his big bad bosses will actually activate, which is obviously very nice. So let's go ahead and do this. We should be able to get all these greens together. Yeah, perfect. Because then we can grab those for Super JANEMBA and then grab all of those for you. Also get the damage reduction. So obviously this is not the best situation for Marseille because he's literally only getting Fierce Battle, but he is an infinite stacker. Mine, of course, full level 10 links, got a ton of good equips because surprise, surprise, I'm a big fan of the Marseille. Unfortunately, his defense not high enough yet to tank a super from the defense lowering Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so a little bit unfortunate. That would have been this would have been the ideal turn for him to have super attacked in the final slot here. But compared to one thing I will say, compared to one of the earlier builds for Corroded Body and Mind, we're definitely making better time in the event than we have on previous runs. So I am appreciating that quite significantly. So let's go ahead and grab these. We are not going to be able to get the 4 orbs for JANEMBA unless we do this, so I think we will. It's probably better to get the buff for Tech JANEMBA than just to get the 18 key super for LR JANEMBA. And I don't know if this is the final attack LR JANEMBA needs to have his passive fully maxed out, but because Baby JANEMBA does get better after super attacking defensively, so the ideal way to set up this rotation is obviously to have LR JANEMBA in slot 1. But we do have, you know, these floating Tech JANEMBAs, they do have big bad bosses. So, oh, look at that. There's that 50% chance to counter the keep. In fact, he has got big bad bosses active now, because we're almost at the threshold for big bad bosses to be active, even if it was at level 1. So, obviously, having that unit in slot 3 to share big bad bosses with him is obviously really beneficial for this situation. So, okie dokie, let's see. This isn't the best setup here for our boys, but how do I want to play this out? I want to try and keep all these blue orbs at the side here so we can actually get a decent amount of key for Rose, but unfortunately I can't super attack with Super JANEMBA if I do that. So I think what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and pop our first item because we are at the Ozaru. I always like to wait until at least this point to use the first item, and we are getting the Dokkan attack with Marseille, so even if we do take a big chunk of damage this turn, we are going to heal up from the Dokkan attack at the start of the next turn. So, wow, did I really miss that one? Well, let's see. Marseillan is at 3.37 on the attack stat, so should do some pretty decent damage here. I should really do a defense check for him and see what he's sitting at this point, because his defense should be reasonably high, but he obviously is missing out on a lot by not really having any links active in this setup. So we could probably afford to float him off fairly soon. So decent damage overall. Still no super. 2.8 from the Rosé. Only 3 links active. That's not too bad. And now he greatly raises defense on super. We take the super. Wow, still 250k with a Whis active. But obviously we go ahead and get the heal from the Dokkan attack. So we can grab all of these physical orbs. And the LR JANEMBA doesn't need to be in slot 2. I'm pretty sure he is fully built up now. Although unfortunately we did not get a good set of orbs for Tech JANEMBA. But he's not being hit, so we don't have to worry about him. He's not giving the buff to the rest of the rotation, which is a little bit annoying. But in fact, this setup is good for LR JANEMBA for this event, because I think, does every single enemy have a key-based super attack? I think they do. Except actually no, full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, his probably counts as a strike, doesn't it? Although the animation starts off with the Kamehameha, so maybe it isn't. Because that's obviously really beneficial, because I'm pretty sure the Great Ape one is as well. So JANEMBA like nullifying the Great Ape super attack would be pretty awesome. I mean, he guards anyway, so he would tank it reasonably well, but I feel like that would be quite an amusing setup, like rotation, for him to just absorb the super attack. So if we do this, we should be able to then get the 4 orbs for you. That buffs up you, so you can actually super. And then, what is Marseillan's defense at this point? Only 239k. He definitely does miss out on a lot of his potential by not really having any of his links active. So STR JANEMBA not getting the dodge. Typical. Shout out to anyone who's been around the channel since the OG days. STR JANEMBA not dodging is basically what pretty much created the memes of Super 17 and being a Super 17 stan on this channel. Because back when the 120 leads were first released, you know, before Easy A's were even a thing, I used to argue that Super 17 was better than STR JANEMBA, because the number of times that STR JANEMBA got me killed in Super Battle Road, the OG Super Battle Road, trying to do Extreme STR, because he wouldn't dodge, was infuriating. And then of course, you know, Super 17, he's a defensive unit who has damage reduction. So the argument back then was always that Super 17 always reduces damage, whereas JANEMBA doesn't always dodge. And when he doesn't dodge, especially like super attacks in Super Battle Road, I mean, you can see that now, right? Take STR JANEMBA into Movie Boss's Extreme Super Battle Road, and when he doesn't dodge super attacks and the like, he takes quite a lot of damage. So, alright, let's see. So we definitely want to get the damage reduction more so than the support. So we'll go ahead and grab these in slot 1. The friend JANEMBA is 90%. So, and then ideally we want to be able to get the support on the second JANEMBA, but yeah, actually he's not being attacked. So if we do this and then go for these, there we go. So we at least got the buff with one of the JANEMBAs. So the Tech JANEMBA in slot 1 has the damage reduction and is receiving the effect from the other JANEMBA's buff. I mean, having the 2 Tech JANEMBAs on one turn, that is when you really want to be able to get the buff from both of them, because then that is a pretty significant increase. But I think did I just say the friend is 90%? My Tech JANEMBA only has 1 dupe. Obviously, Tech JANEMBA has returned on a banner now. I think one of the biggest problems that people obviously ran into when this event first came out and Corroded Body and Mind was one of the missions, if you hadn't pulled JANEMBA from the only banner that he'd been on, then obviously you didn't have him. And building a Corroded Body and Mind team without Tech JANEMBA back then was very, very difficult. I saw screenshots of somebody who did a run using STR Rosé as the leader and having to make up a full team of like one of each type extreme units, and Yeah, I think they even said it took many, many attempts to actually get that run. So I can feel that pain being someone who, you know, sometimes has to do a stage hundreds of times to get a no item run done in Super Battle Road. So yeah, that must have been absolutely brutal. I think I tried it out a couple of times to see if I could get it done on video, to try and actually have a video out of beating Corroded Body and Mind without Tech Janemba, but I only tried it probably like 4 or 5 times with the STR Rose team build, obviously Tech Janemba friend, and man, boy was that hard. But yeah, if this mission was one of the last ones you needed left to do, then potentially you could have picked up the Tech Janemba with red coins when he came back the last time, or maybe you pulled him from actually summoning on the banner. But let's see, let's go ahead and do... See, that's only 3 orbs, so we don't get the support, which means he also can't super attack. So if I do this... I have to do this really just in case I can't get the support for the Tech Janemba. Yeah, see, this is a very awkward rotation. I could do this, but is that gonna make any difference? That's just gonna drop the 2 physical orbs down together, isn't it? So this is a very bad rotation to not be able to get the buff for Tech Janemba, because obviously he's got type disadvantage. He does guard, but this is the friend who is 90%. So I guess maybe he'll additional. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll get the super attack for Rose at the end. So if anything, ideally we want him to super attack STR Janemba, and for him to actually dodge would probably be the best case scenario for this rotation. Because yeah, I don't know whose idea it was to give Tech Janemba no key links. The fact that he doesn't have like crazy good synergy with the other Janemba units is very strange to me. Obviously, you know, if you're able to get the 4 type orbs to get his support passive, then he is giving some key, so that part kind of makes up for it. But obviously you really see where that fails in setups like this, where you can't actually get the 4 type orbs, and then you're left suffering for key, which is very unfortunate. So the orbs on this turn are not the best. I was thinking we could maybe go for the Rage Mode transformation here, but you know what, let's do that, because we got type advantage. Obviously he does have a chance to crit in the Rage Mode, but I would rather we just try and do as much damage as we can here to the Goku while we have the type advantage. Now of course, being the Great 8 mechanic, we probably can't even get any 18 key supers. Wow, we're even going to miss one of the actual supers as well. Very annoying. The Great 8 mechanic that these Rage Modes and all of the transformations have is just so outdated now. They really need to find a way to revamp it. I don't know the best way to do that without having to like retool all of the units that do it, because they might accidentally make it like super OP, but it just seems really like lackluster. Like these attack stats that we're getting with Janemba in his Rage Mode are like half what he's doing in his normal mode. Now we don't take any damage, which is nice, but I mean on this particular rotation that we had set up, as long as we didn't get super attacked on the wrong unit, we probably wouldn't have really taken much damage anyway. So Rage Mode definitely seems a little bit lackluster to me, you know, with how I've been enjoying LR Janemba so far, because I do think LR Janemba is good. I talked about this in the previous videos. I do think he gets a little bit too much hate. He's definitely better than people make out. Look at that. RNG coming in clutch, actually giving us the tech orb at the top there. So we actually have the full passive for Tech Janemba up here. So we've got the support and the damage reduction. Allows LR Janemba to get a pretty solid attack stat here. Get the additional normal. And then what is Baby Janemba going to do here? 3.4. Yeah, Baby Janemba is super, super good. I'm really looking forward to Global getting the Fusions, Awakenings, and Easy A's. Because even though he's not on Corroded Body and Mind, I really like the Janembu. So, I mean, obviously, Tech Janemba, his secondary leader skill is Extreme Types 130. So, you could still bring Janembu on a double Tech Janemba team. He's obviously just not going to be getting the full buff, so obviously he's not going to be quite as good. But this is another super awkward turn. I mean, like, how good would this rotation be of the STR and the Tech JANEMBA if they just actually shared some key links? Because in order to get STR JANEMBA to super, we need to be able to get 4 key and then get the buff from Tech JANEMBA, and we were unable to do that, so very awkward. Just grab those, I guess. So I was hoping we might be able to finish off the Int Goku this turn, but unless we get an additional super maybe from the STR one, we are probably not looking at being able to do enough damage here. Look at that. Crazy 2,000 damage from the STR JANEMBA normal attack. Whew, calm down. But yeah, 90% Tech JANEMBA. Tech JANEMBA, if nothing else, is pretty impressive when it comes to defense, even with like not a huge amount of dupes. Now, obviously, in this situation with where we've got type disadvantage, even though he guards, he would still take quite a lot of damage from a super attack from this Goku without actually having the orbs collected to get his damage reduction. But let's see. I really wanted to be able to pick up all of these Int Orbs with Rose, but what links do you guys share? Yeah, see, we would have big bad bosses if our health was low enough. Yeah, see, we do get the extra key because of shocking speed. So I guess we could just go for the 12 key super here. I suppose, really, to be fair, we're probably just going to kill him this turn anyway, but I kind of wanted to see actually getting a decent amount of key for LR Rose for a change. Because this is the big problem with Corroded Body and Mind, I think, when it comes to team building, is there are specific units, I mean, I feel like we've brought most of them, there are specific units that are good for these kind of like harder, longer events, but like, the team doesn't really have any support units that can actually hold their own in difficult content. Like, you could argue AGL Rose, as long as you get him to take hits early on, so that he gets that defense part of his passive like built up, then he could be okay. But obviously the big problem with the GT Goku event is the last stage is tech. So if you get to the last stage and Rose takes a super attack, then you are obviously going to get absolutely destroyed. And I mean, Rose here, the LR Rose, one dupe, taking quite a bit more damage than I would have expected after greatly raising his defense on super attack, so that is a little bit awkward. Get the buff for you and get the damage. Oh no, we won't even pick up the other one. That's the other thing as well that really annoys me about Tech JANEMBA, is because of the way the game works, the game will always try and go the path of orbs that gives the unit the most key. And I feel like that's counterintuitive when it comes to units like JANEMBA and Pycon, because I've had a lot of situations come up in the past where, like, you can literally get, like, there's a path that would give you, like, 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs, but maybe it starts off with, like, you know, a rainbow orb at the bottom, and there's a clear path going up of, like, 4 type orbs and a rainbow orb. And when you go to click on it, the game's like, nah, I'm going to go this way and just get like 3 tech orbs and a rainbow orb. So you actually get none of JANEMBA's passive activated, even though quite clearly, if it just went in the different direction, you would get the type orbs and the rainbow orbs. But because they're like type neutral or type disadvantage orbs or whatever, you're not getting as much key. So it wants to go the other way. And I feel like if they're going to design units with these kind of passives where they really want to pick up specific types of orbs, they probably should somehow, I don't know if they can even, but they should factor that into the way that AI picks up the orbs. Because back when I was struggling to do extreme tech, no items for the ESBR, that was at the time the last stage I needed to do in order to have all of them done on global. And that one was a nightmare because Tech JANEMBA, very often I was getting into situations where I just could not get the orbs for him. And obviously in Extreme Super Battle Road, if you're not getting the 2 rainbow orbs to get damage reduction, and then he ends up taking a super attack, like, he takes a lot of damage. So the orb shenanigans with him will always be really, really annoying, I think. But Alright, so now Rose, what is his starting defense? See, it's under 100k at the start. Because I believe he gets like basically all of his stats on super. I know he gets his stats with the key raise, so I guess it's not too bad. But yeah, he does greatly raise on super attacks. So let's see, how do I want to do this? Because like, look at how bad everything here for like key, so shockingly bad. So I guess we could do this, and then just get these, and then get the tech orbs here, so we're actually getting the full buffs and everything, and we're getting the Dokkan attack with Rose as well. In fact, did we use the Whis last turn? I think we might still have the Whis active here, but Goku Black with the 12 keys. He's still getting a 3.2 million attack stat here thanks to the buff from Janemba's passive, so not too shabby. Second Dokkan attack. We are at like the 26-minute mark on the recording here. So, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Corroded Body and Mind. Not the fastest team, for sure. It's one of those things, though, when I do these kind of videos for this, like, especially this, where it's like, Corroded Body and Mind is a difficult mission for this event that a lot of people have trouble with, and is very difficult to beat. So I don't want to do a video where I get like 20 minutes in and, you know, we're like at Int Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then it's just like, ah, well, we're 20 minutes in, we'll just stop now. Like, once you get this far, kind of feel like you have to see it through to the actual end. And you know, the worst part is here, if we get super attacked on baby Janemba, I actually think we die. So I think what we'll do, even though we don't need health, I think we'll go ahead and pop a Princess Snake here. Because with the support buff from Janemba in slot 3, I think that will be enough with the Princess Snake as well to survive a super. Because obviously baby Janemba, very good defensively, but type disadvantage super attack from one of the hardest bosses in the game. Obviously not the hardest anymore, thanks to Blue Evolution Vegeta. Yeah, he's not going to survive a super attack from him without assistance. And here we go. $358k, wow. Whew. And this team has what, 560k HP we have total? So yeah, that is a lot of damage to take from the super. Double super from Tech Janemba. Tech Janemba, of course, raises defense on his super as well, so double super for him is good. But yeah, down to 200k. Oof. That was a lot more damage than I was expecting to take, but we finally get the... we've actually been doing pretty well, I guess, for not taking damage. The fact that we've only just gotten the... active skill. But yeah, I forget, of course, that Rose has a rage mode as well, so I guess we'll just go ahead and use that. I haven't used this in Rose's rage mode in, I actually can't even remember how long. Animation is so cool. Alright, let me double check his passive then. So, does destructive damage to the enemy with both of his supers, and then he also gets extra key and his attack's effective against all types, which obviously for this final part is not really important because we are having type advantage anyway. But oof. Wow, we're actually going to miss a super on one of the attacks as well. That is unfortunate. But yeah, rage modes. I mean, literally both units that we've used in this run that have a rage mode, we've kind of seen them not really being particularly strong in that turn. Because, I mean, what's always funny to see as well is the damage numbers. Because especially Janemba, like Janemba has his guard in slot 1 or 2. When you're in the rage mode, all of that part of his passive is just completely gone. So he takes so much, well, I say he takes so much damage. The number that comes up that is grayed out is so big compared to what he actually would have been taking if he weren't in the rage mode. I always think that is quite funny to see. But yeah, you get a super attack out of the way while we're in our phase where we can't take damage. I'm perfectly okay with that. 273k apparently that would have done. So yeah, Both the rage modes not particularly OP for this this event, but let's go ahead and grab these. Grab those for you. I guess we can go ahead and use the other Princess Snake here, and then grab these. So if we don't finish him off this turn, then LR Janemba should be able to finish him off on the next turn. And unless he's going to super attack again, we should be okay for HP. But wow, yeah, this is a long video. So anyone who stuck around for the full video, I appreciate you. Put hashtag Ningen Club in the comments, and I'll make sure to give you a like and a reply. Because yeah, very, very long run. This team really needs some buffs in the sense of like much bigger hard-hitting units. Obviously LR Janemba, when he's like rainbow full level 10 links, you can get him up to some decent numbers, and again obviously with like big bad bosses active all of the time, whereas, you know, mine is at level 9, but it means when we're on full HP at the start of the turn he doesn't get it. So yeah, this team definitely needs some buffs in the defense department. So I'm just going to grab this so that these don't get disturbed here, so we can make sure we get those with Janemba and get the buff for everybody. So unless Goku throws up a dodge here, of course he's going to throw out one last ditch super attack. Fortunately, we don't have to worry now about it being on the AGL one if he does put on a crazy dodging spree. But he doesn't dodge LR Janemba, so this should be GG. So very, very long run, but Corroded Body and Mind done. Finally. I say finally, like I've done the mission before, but man, this was a long run. And wow, he still isn't dead. So Tech Janemba had to come in and finish him off at the end. This man just would not die. So yeah, there you go. Corroded Body and Mind, still an absolute nightmare, even with like, I don't think I'm missing a single team, a single unit from this category. And like, still this run is not like, I don't want to say it's difficult. I mean, we used all of our items, so you can't really say a run is easy if you've used all of your items. But man, this it's a shame they don't have like the times for specific categories, because this is 20 minutes longer than my best time. But I don't know what my best time with Corroded Body and Mind is, but yeah, there you go. If you stuck it out to the end, hashtag Ningen Club in the comments. I do appreciate you all. Let me know what you guys think of Corroded Body and Mind. Have you done this mission? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.